Hello, and welcome to Silicon Valley Girls Chat Over Tea. I'm Gloria.
And I'm Rosetta.
And thank you so much for joining us today. As always, we like to set the tone for our video. No drama, no drama, no drama.
No drama.
We like love, peace, happiness, gratitude, and joy. So come with us on our journey as we talk about interesting topics in the world today.
Yes, we will. All right, we're going to get going with, before I forget, we want to remind everyone, if you like our chat, which we hope you do,
Yes.
please consider thumbs upping, liking our videos.
Yes.
And hit the bell notification and subscribe to our channel. Notification.
Yes.
So that just because you subscribe does not mean you'll be notified. You have to hit the notification. All right, the tea we're drinking today. Last week we did a cold brew, and this week we're doing another cold brew by the same company, Harmony Organic Tea. And today this one is a peach mango with matcha.
Smells amazing.
Peach mango matcha. We love it. And the tea bags are pyramid shaped. And the ingredients are organic green tea, organic matcha, organic peach flavor, organic mango flavor. And that's it.
We like it when it's simple.
Yep. So
Yes.
we have to steep this for 5 minutes.
Yes.
So the longer we steep it, the more intense the flavors are. So I don't know if it's ready to be tried yet. So we'll stop and we'll try it and let you know our verdict a little bit later.
Yes, as we continue on.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get started. As always, our thoughts and prayers go out to the universe. There's a lot of things going on in the world today, both for humans and animals. A lot of unusual things going on. So we want to set the space for safe living for all. Being in a space of gratitude. You know, I might not like snakes. However, I know that snakes are a critical part to the whole ecological situation. Because whenever something starts to go extinct, we start having problems. So we all have to learn how to exist and how to coexist. So as we go forward today, we set that space. So, as you know, June is Pride Month, and there's all kinds of activities going on around the world. Some are very, very good, very positive, and some are people acting out. And let people celebrate. Let people have a good experience, no matter what it is. And today, because it is June 19th, is Juneteenth.
Yes. Did you or have you gone to any festivals?
Yes. I mean, I was laughing this morning. I think it was around 9:30. They said, well, if you're coming to Oakland, most of the food is sold out. And I thought,
that was today?
God. Yes.
For what?
Oh, the barbecue and the sweet potato pies and the peach cobblers and the
Where?
Oakland, and the parade and all of that.
Well, I went to a Juneteenth festival this past weekend in downtown San Jose.
Excellent.
Sofa District, and it was very good. Really, really, really great.
Yes.
And I actually tried, it was a black-owned company. They make their own whiskeys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I tried their whiskeys and purchased a couple of their infused whiskey drinks.
Nice.
So I supported that, and I had to go to the coffee house, Nirvana Soul. Nirvana Soul.
I know Nirvana Soul.
So that was good.
Yes.
That's Juneteenth today, and I forgot today was the actual day of Juneteenth. So everyone, and it's an actual holiday.
Yes, it really is. And what it is actually celebrating, June 19, 1865, when a Union general read the orders in Galveston, Texas, stating that all enslaved people in the state were free according to federal law. And this was because even though it was federal law prior, they were not recognizing it, and the slaves were never told that they were free. Because even after they were told they were free, well, what do? You're free, but you still got to work for the master to make a living. So a lot of them, they were free, but they didn't woohoo, I'm out of here. They stayed and they continued to work. And in 2021, President Biden made it a federal holiday. So that's why some people are not working today. Post offices, banks, offices
Yeah.
are closed for people to actually celebrate. So if you do get out and about, there's celebrations everywhere. You can just go online and Google it and find something fun to do.
Or you can support a Black-owned business.
Yes, absolutely. That is another way to show that you understand the importance of all of us collaborating together.
Yes.
So that's really, really good. So, you know, our focus is on our kids, trying to help them have the best lives that they can have. And as you know, Rosetta and I are always talking about trying to limit the screen time. There's so much screen time with kids. It used to be there would be a limited number of computers in the classroom, so they would kind of share. So they would do a little work and then they would go back to, you know, pencil and paper and writing things out. Where now everybody has a screen. Everybody has a cell phone. So there's just so much of this. So Dr. Vivek Murthy, who is the United States Surgeon General, he came out with a document. And in this document, he warns that social media should have a label, just like tobacco on cigarettes, that there's a negative connotation if you use this product. So that's kind of stirred up quite a few people as to, well, what do you mean? When you say that, how do I protect my child? What should I do?
That's the $1 million question everyone wants to ask.
Yes.
My opinion, I feel, is that even though, I mean, where would these warnings be? That was my question. My one question was, where would they have these warnings?
Right.
You would have to go back to the companies who make these tablets and iPhones and whatever, and then maybe have something pop up every time or whatever.
Or
I don't
put
know how that
a
would
label, like before you even open the box. You know, like before you open a pack of cigarettes, it says on the label that this is dangerous and it could cause cancer. So they could put something on the box that says overexposure to this device could cause problems for children and adolescents. Adults have a better chance of this, but when you're a child and you're susceptible to believing what you hear, not necessarily what you see, but what you hear. Well, why do you do that? My mommy told me. Why do you do that? Well, my dad told me. So their brains are developing. I mean, most people's brains, it takes until around 25 before you can make some cognitive decisions and say, no, I don't want to do that.
Are not fully developed till age 25.
Yeah.
So when they're younger, their brains are being really affected by this. And another thing that comes into play, which I'm all about, is those harmful electromagnetic frequencies that are actually emitted from these wireless technology that nobody can see, because you don't see it, you don't hear it, you don't smell it, but they're affecting our kids' brains down to the cellular level.
Yes.
And you know, kids, they absorb 2 times more in their brain than adults and 10 times more in their body than adults.
Yes.
So we really have to control ourselves. And what's sad is that there's even adults, which I've noticed, have a hard time of pulling their cell phones down.
Yes.
Let alone talking to their kids to put their cell phones down.
Yes.
So
because the kids are looking at what mommy and daddy is doing. So it's not that old. See, when I was a child, it was do what I say, not what I do.
Right.
I was raised that way. Nowadays, kids don't understand that rule. So if mommy does it or if daddy does it, then they feel that it's okay for me.
Yeah, and I have to be honest. Sometimes I'm on my cell phone a bit too much. It's a bit hard to get off the cell phone. But sometimes I'm on the cell phone because I'm actually playing a game.
Right.
And it get carried away with that game because I'm actually on there. And it's not even a game I'm on. I downloaded this paint by numbers thing on this app.
Those.
And it has all these different pictures that you can paint by numbers. And I'm like, kind of like infatuated by it. I'm like, can't stop.
Yeah. Well, it's even though it's it's screen time, but at least it's eye to hand because you're doing something.
Well, basically, I'm just clicking where it says 1, and then click it, and then the next one, number 2, and the colors pop up. But it's really fun. I'm enjoying that, and finding word puzzles as I'm doing as well.
Right.
So they're kind of like not really like scrolling the internet or social media.
Right.
But Dr. Vivek does say, this is what he said, I quote, "We don't have enough evidence to say if it's safe, and in fact, growing evidence that social media use is associated with harm to young people's mental health. And for too many children, social media is compromising their sleep," because it really is.
Right.
Because they're either being too stimulated and they can't fall asleep,
right,
or they're playing on their cell phones for too late, for too long, when they have to go to school the next day.
Right.
And then it says, "We are in the middle of a national youth mental health crisis, and I'm concerned that social media is an important driver of this crisis, one that we must urgently address."
Yes.
And here I got some percentages. These adolescents are reporting that 58% of them feel more accepted using social media.
Wow.
67% say people support them through tough times on social media. 71% have said they have a place to show their creative side on social media. And 80% of these adolescents are saying they get more connections and find out what's going on with their friends' lives.
Right.
So I can understand that it is somewhat a good outlet.
Right.
But there's always, when there's positive, there's always negative when it comes to social media.
Yes.
So we still have to figure out what is the fine line between using it too much and then all of a sudden affecting our mental health.
Yes. Well, in May of 2023, Dr. Vivek did an advisory report on the subject. And he warned that there are ample indicators that social media can also have a profound risk of harm on the mind and well-being of children and adolescents. He said that the children listen on social media are commonly, close proximity of there's the internal, what's going on with them, and then the external. And so he says that they don't understand like the extremes. So like if I'm sitting, I'm a child and I sit there and I hit you and I go, "Tag, you're it." That's a lot different than if someone does something to you on social media, because it can be very negative because it's not one-on-one.
And it's on out social there media, for all the public to see
forever.
Yes.
So even though it's just a couple of girls playing tag, because it's on social media, becomes very extreme. So he says that from what he was looking at, social media can contribute to poor mental health, including depression and anxiety. The advisory report that he did also outlines action steps that he feels that should be addressed by the policy makers, our government. It should be technology companies, like we were saying, before you open the box, you should know what's the risk of opening this box. Researchers and families to contain and mitigate the risk of harm and make social media safer and healthier for children and youth. It can not be as bad as it is. However, in order for that to occur, these companies that allow children to just say what they want to say have to be a little bit more responsible, especially if you're under the age of 11. You shouldn't, I don't want to say you shouldn't have an account, but your account shouldn't be broad spectrum. It should be limited to, your age group, your peers. Like you can create a free ID and you can say I'm 20 even though I'm 12. That kind of stuff there should be a way to verify.
Yeah, and I think Facebook don't allow you to have an account unless you're 13 or older.
Right. So there's lots that needs to be done, but most importantly, parents have to take an active role. You have to get your children off those screens and out into the world. You know, we were laughing yesterday, a group of women, and we were talking about how our parents used to get us up, feed us breakfast, and then they'd go outside and play. We were outside. If we weren't outside playing, we were outside working in the yard. We were doing something, but we were outside.
And then back then, I think we had more interaction with our families. Like,
yes.
These technologies are taking away from the time that you could be spending with your family, interacting,
Yes.
and really having that special bond with your family.
Yes.
Instead of people could be around the living room watching TV, but everybody's on their cell phone.
Yeah. Even when you are in a restaurant and you see people at the table, they're having a meal together, and everybody, parents included, have a device in their hand. And it's like
it's so hard. What do you do when people, the children are so addicted that when you say you're going to take it away,
right,
or there's consequences, they throw fits and yell and scream and bang their heads on the door or the table. What do you do? I mean, we have to figure out some way to control the sheer amount of time that kids are on their cell phones.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It really is.
Yeah. I mean, because I know back in the day, I can't remember what it was called, but there was, I guess now they're apps, but back then it was just an application or whatever. But there was a process that you could put on the computer where it would dim when it was bedtime. You would get like a 15-minute warning, and it would dim down, which said, okay, I got to log off because it's going to shut down. And that would be the end of it. And there was also, you could set certain time limits. You know, you could say, okay, you can do this for 2 hours. And my thing with my boys was always cause and effect. You know, if you throw a fit, then that just doubles the amount of time you're not going to get it.
But when your boys were younger, there was no cell phone, right?
No.
Yeah, because my son only had a cell phone when he was in 5th grade, and we only got him a flip phone for emergencies if we had to pick him up late from school or something.
To let him know what was going on.
Yeah.
But the phones, all these smartphones now, oh my God. And now with the evolution of AI, we're going to have to delve into that a little bit to help you, because I saw a presentation yesterday by one of my WNA sisters, Christina Russ, and she blew my mind. And a lot of things, AI is being embedded into a lot of things. Apple did an announcement, a brand new announcement, ding, 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 and it's called AI, and it's Apple Intelligence.
Yes.
So it's everywhere, and it's going to have to get to the point that somehow this is going to have to be regulated, because she showed us a presentation of someone creating like a Word doc, and this Word doc, it started reading it back to us at a certain point. You can talk to it now. You don't even have to type it. You know, she put in, I'm a photographer, I want this kind of business, I want to be here, I don't want to have to travel more than 20 miles from my house. What should I do? And it gave her a whole business plan.
Okay, that's really what the positive side of that. There's some really good positive sides. And right now, it's starting to get more and more used in different businesses and technology. And this is this is a great time to nip it in the bud and start teaching our kids at school as well, because they're at school for majority of the day.
Right.
Or parents, we need to reinforce that. How to use it to benefit you for the positive.
Yes.
Not make it a kind of a place where you just go and get all the answers.
Yeah, where you're cheating.
Right.
Because the most important thing for our children to know is do not let AI do all the work, because you are just becoming brain dead.
Well, there are teachers now that have these apps that they can use that can tell whether you've done your book report or you just went to AI and did it.
Yeah.
So they have
because
these
AI,
readers.
Yes, AI, it makes grammar mistakes. AI, like it'll just say doc, and you're talking about a doctor, and it does the doc like out on the water. So a doc is a doc, but it's not the same.
And sometimes AI will actually come back and give you things that don't even sound like you.
Yes.
So you can't just be like taking that. But a lot of kids who are lazy, all of a sudden, they've got this spectacular piece of work that they're showing to their teachers.
Yes.
Where in the past they haven't. That's not really their tone that they work on. So be careful, parents. Again, from top down, we need to start now.
Yes. So we're going to stay on top of this because I think this is going to change a lot of things. And you know, it's really funny. There's an old saying that once the genie is out of the bottle, you can't put it back.
Exactly.
And I think we have opened the doors to all this technology to our kids without realizing the risk. And now, like Rosetta said, it's going to be like pulling teeth.
Because that was so new. We never had that before.
Right.
Now we've got the technology. We've got all those wireless devices. We now know what we should have done back then.
In the day.
Now we can do it with AI.
Yes.
But we want to try our tea since we've had it steeping for a little bit.
Yes.
So we're going to wake it up a bit.
Yes.
It's good.
Smells good.
It smells of peach.
Yes, and mango.
And mango.
Yes.
Cheers. Cheers, everyone. And it's cold brew again. It's light.
Very light, but I can taste the peach.
You know what I would like to do is next time I probably put 2 tea bags in it to make it more. Or some people, which I don't really like to do, is maybe put a sweetener or something in there.
And what I might do is see what happens. I've tried 2 of them cold. Try one hot.
Yes.
And see if there's more depth of flavor.
We'll do that next week.
It's not bad. It's not bad. We like it.
But it's good for a hot day, and next week we'll try it hot.
There you go. So I'm sure most of you have heard about the passing yesterday of Willie Mayes. He was an amazing baseball player. He passed away at the wonderful prime age of 93, and he was a San Francisco Giant for many years. He it's called the catch of the century, the catch of forever. He caught the ball over his shoulder. He was running and he just put his glove up and caught the ball. And not only did he catch it, he turns around and he throws the ball back into play. He was an amazing, amazing man. So Giant fans are very, very upset of his passing. No one wanted him to be in pain or anything. They just love him that much. So they have been going to the Giant Stadium and leaving flowers and writing notes.
Wow, so nice.
Just expressions of love all around the stadium. When he turned 90, there was a, I don't know what you call it, like a radio personality. Her name is Renelle. And she used to be on the radio spinning music, and she got to be the speaker announcing the players at the game. And so when he turned 90, they gave him sort of a baseball glove with a little baseball with a 90 on it for his birthday. And they sang happy birthday to him. So that was really cool. Ex-Mayor Willie Brown was saying that he was a phenomenal human being. Not just his talent, but his kindness. And that's what a lot of people are remembering today, is his kindness. So he was a Giant from 1958 through 1972 when they traded him to the New York Mets. So he went coast to coast. So the love for him is going coast to coast. Everyone is talking about what a great man he was. So may you rest in peace, and may all things be honored. So, hopefully everything will stay nice. No negativity.
Yep.
Because he was a good man. So I don't know if you all heard, but last week on The View, Whoopi announced that her and 99, because there were 100 comedians, got an opportunity to be in front of the Pope. It was Stephen Colbert, Chris Rock, Jimmy Fallon, just to name a few names.
All the good comedians.
Yes. And the only reason I'm bringing it up is the Pope told the comedians that their job is to make people laugh. because comedians have gotten to the point they're afraid to do their job.
Right, exactly.
Because they're being critiqued. And he told them, he says, when you make a single person smile, that makes God smile. So hopefully we're going to see more stand-up comedians going back out and doing stand-up and just making people laugh.
We do need a laugh. I love it when I go to see like people at the improv and they I'm like literally I'm laughing in tears because they're so good at what they're doing. There are some excellent comedians out there. We need to support all the comedians.
Yes, we do, because like you said, they're excellent and we want them to continue to make us laugh. So that's very, very important. So, weather in America, what can we say? It's still crazy, crazy, crazy. So here in Northern California where we live, we're experiencing wildfires already. So in Northern California and New Mexico, we have fires that started last weekend. And so far, 23,400 acres have burned. We've lost one person's life. It has destroyed more than 1,400 homes and other structures, and it's caused more than 8,000 people to be evacuated from their homes. They're saying that because of the winds, it's like you see a little fire and instantly it just takes off. I also heard a little while ago, my husband, he's so funny. He's like, Sonoma, wine's going to be smoky this year. There's a fire up in Sonoma.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's going on. But what we all have to do is just be better prepared. If you live somewhere where there's a lot of foliage, a lot of greenery, if there's any way that you can take it down around your home, try and do that. I think it was the original 911, and they were showing how some of the fire, there was a fire, and it was the ambers that were flying in the air that caused more things to catch on fire. So, it's just what it is. So you have to figure out how to, pack those bags, because we all never think about the emergency bag until we're in the emergency. So try and think about, if I was to experience an emergency, what would I want to keep? Because what they're doing with the people right now is they're knocking on the door and they go, you got 5 minutes. You can't go through your house and try and figure out what do you want.
That's exactly why you need an emergency bag, because you can just grab it and go. And a lot of people forget what they need to put in an emergency bag is cash.
Yes.
They always forget that. Cash is still important.
Yes. And
your important documents.
Yes. Yes. If you don't have them out of the house in a safety deposit box, because I haven't heard of any bank ever catching on fire and the safety deposit box burning, because the vault is airtight. So if you have it there, that's fine. But if it's in your home, like marriage licenses, things like that you can't just go around the corner and pick up another one. Make sure that you're taking good care of those.
Yes, and we actually have, and I'm going to tell you, instead of having a massive, like a vault or a safe, they actually now sell these pouches. Like it's an envelope size or a bit bigger, and you can put all your documents in there, folded up. So, and it's fire retardant.
All right.
So that's what we have at home. And it fits a lot of things, our passports, our marriage license, birth certificate for my son, whatever other important information, we have it in there, and it's all packed there, and it's easy to put in your to-go bag. As if anything emergency happens, you just grab it and go, instead of trying to figure out it's in the safe deposit, this massive box that you have at home.
Right. What is the combination? I don't remember. If you're spinning the
or you
dial.
just leave it there, because hopefully it is fire retardant.
Yes, hopefully. Now, while we're going through this here, the Midwest and the East, they're going through, like, they're calling it like a hot tropical stormy area. It's hot There was a guy walking in the water this morning in Texas, and he was just waving in it, and he goes, "This water is hot."
Wow.
So Texas, right now, they're experiencing torrential rains, flooding, and winds. In Galveston, Texas, which we just talked about because of Juneteenth, that is a popular beach area. So that's where people like to go during
all
vacations.
the tourists go there, and it's a very nice area.
Yes. And so people are only being allowed to just stand on the beach and look. The local sheriff and the officers are not letting people get in the water. The surfers are like, "Woohoo! I can really get into this." However, if you get out there and you're in danger, then other people have to risk their lives to come and save you. So they're telling people to stay home. We have to just ride through this. So initially it was just tropical wind and rain. Now it has turned into tropical storm Alberto. And this could bring between 8 to 12 inches of rain. Just think about that. 12 inches of rain like instantly, because it's coming down so fast. So that's something that we have to just hope and pray that everyone in the Midwest and the Northeast, they're going to be okay. Because this storm, right now, is from, Illinois to Maine. So it's a wide span of space, and it's hot. Temperatures are going to be into the 90s and triple digits. So it's a rough time in the world right now for weather patterns, because they're not what we're used to be accustomed to. They're changing all the time. So what you as adults have to do is make sure that you and your children and your family are safe. And please, 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 do not look over on the side and say, "Well, there's a hedge there. I can drive through this little water," because cars are getting stuck in the water. And they go from driving to floating. So be careful. Don't assume. So that was our wonderful little chat for today. I think we covered everything.
Yep.
Did I miss anything?
Yep.
Okay. So our fun part is where we get to share a little bit about us with you. So my name is Gloria Webb-Williams. My company is Ancient Stones Nurture Natural. I'm an all-natural mineral makeup manufacturer right here in Santa Clara, California. Rosetta and I are rocking the purple to match my purple walls because we love purple. So, last week I started talking to you about ingredients, and we talked about formaldehyde, and you're like, why would I put something on my skin that has that in it? Well, it's in products, and we shared some of that with you. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about parabens. You hear parabens here, parabens there, and you think to yourself, well, everybody's talking about it. It can't be bad. Parabens are preservatives that are used to keep your skincare and your makeup fresher longer. It's to elongate the shelf life. So what that means is it's a chemical. It's not inert to Mother Earth. It's not something that is kind and safe for the skin. It's just to keep the makeup from going bad. So when you hear of parabens, you need to be aware that it is a chemical, and make sure that you don't have any allergic reactions to those chemicals. It's not as, I don't want to say, it's in everything, so you just have to be aware. You have to make a conscious decision. Is this something that I want to use? I understand that it will eliminate or lessen the germs, but you can do something else when you're using a product. Buy spatulas. You can just take the spatula, you take a little bit out, you're not putting your hands in it, so you're not infesting it with germs or anything like that. When you have products with parabens, because they're in lotions, makeup, soaps that contain water. So those bath gels that you love, they're in that. So that it doesn't get that funky smell. And it smells as lovely until you use it up. it's just being aware, especially if you have babies and infants around, because they could be allergic to those chemicals. So just be aware. Yes, you hear parabens all the time. It's a chemical. It's there to elongate the life of the product. When you spend a lot of money, you want it to last as long as possible. Just make sure, because they're all different levels of parabens. I mean, as in anything. So there's some that are mild, and then there's some that are really, really bad. So as we always tell you, please read your label, take out that little handy phone, and Google that ingredient and make sure that it's not something harmful to you
and you
your
can
family.
always go to stores that have all natural ingredients. They don't use preservatives or parabens like that.
Right.
So there are a lot of companies that have come out with the alternative of healthier things for the kids, like
Yes.
toothpaste,
Yes.
shampoos, medications, what else, sunscreens,
Yes.
everything for your baby that's going to be a bit healthier
Yes.
than your norm that you see in
Yes.
in like CVS or
Right.
Walgreens.
And anything that has a fragrance could have an allergic reaction. My new grandbaby started breaking out, and she was breaking out because her mom was just washing her clothes with the soap that they use for the family, for the two of them, and they never broke out, but she broke out. So there's, it's just knowing that there are alternatives. You just have to do a little bit of investigation. So I'm Gloria Webb-Williams, Ancient Stones Nurturing Natural.
Thank you. And I'm Rosetta Chow, certified health coach, educator, and speaker. When I'm speaking, I'm educating. And my business called Simply Health. And to piggyback on what Gloria said in regards to parabens and things that are harmful to our bodies, I'm going to talk about how we can reduce inflammation in our bodies through making sure that the things we eat are not causing inflammation in our bodies. The number one ingredient, I would say, that causes inflammation, there's a lot of things in our food, things that people spray, which is in our food, environmental chemicals, and the EMFs, electromagnetic frequencies emitted from wireless technology and all the cell phone towers out there. So what can we do every day to protect ourselves? And why is it important that we have to take charge of inflammation in our bodies?
Yes.
All these things are toxins, and they're
Yes.
building up in our bodies. So what are we doing in our bodies to reverse these toxins?
Right.
So if you're not doing anything to reverse these toxins, what happens is it's going to fester in your body months, days, years, and decades. And that soon becomes inflammation in your body.
Yes.
And inflammation becomes premature aging.
Yes.
Oxidative
and chronic
stress.
disease.
Oxidative stress means that our body is aging prematurely. So like if you open an apple up, it starts to turn brown because
Yes.
it's prematurely aging.
Yes.
So what we need to do is feed our bodies with the right ingredients to help detox our body from these toxins. Our body naturally detoxes, like when we sweat, when we go to the toilet, do number one and number two, when we're sleeping, we're detoxing.
Yes.
But there's always things that our body can do to help, give a helping hand.
Yes.
And the best thing to do is to eat healthy foods. That's number one. Eat your fruits and veggies, because those will detoxify your body. But when you are detoxifying, don't tox your body.
Right.
So if you're eating healthy, if you're putting all this sugar in your body, you're actually like
defeating
the purpose. So make sure also that when you're buying the fruits and veggies, you're making sure they're organic, the ones that need to be organic.
Yes.
I always say dirty dozen, clean 15.
Right.
Do a little Google of dirty dozen, clean 15, and I'll talk about that again in another chat.
Yes.
But what we need to do is how can we reverse the inflammation? And number one, I'm only going to talk about that one, is eat more fruits, veggies, and berries, because they're very, very high in plant chemicals and antioxidants. They help us, they're against oxidization, which these chemicals are causing in our bodies. So that's why we need to up our intake of fruits and veggies. And they also help boost our immune system, keep our immune system strong, so that when we get sick, those natural killer cells in our bodies can defend us from those parasites or viruses or foreign bacteria.
Yes.
So inflammation, number one, is eat your fruits and veggies and berries. Dirty dozen, clean 15. And that's all I'm going to say, because I could go on and on and on.
Yes, and I love when she goes on and on and on. And just to give you a visual, because some people, they're just not audible. They hear words and they're like, I hear the words, what does that mean? So remember earlier when she talked about cutting the apple and it starts to turn brown? If you put lemon juice on that apple, it doesn't turn brown.
That is the antioxidant
Yes.
to the apple.
There you
so
go.
what is our antioxidant as humans is our
Yes.
fruits, veggies, and berries,
Yes.
and many other things.
Yes. And I know there are people with certain chronic conditions where they don't feel like, oh, I can't eat an apple because it's got too much sugar. Oh, I can't eat, berries or, but you can. I like when I take and make a salad and I put like a quarter of an apple and I cut it up in little pieces. I love that. My husband, he doesn't like apple. And I don't put fruit in my salads. However, I believe doing the cross-pollination of fruits and vegetables is a win-win. So I agree with everything she just
And if you're
said.
watching your sugars, the best fruit to eat are the berries, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, and grapefruit. You'd be surprised.
Yes, I love blackberries
Those
too.
won't spike your blood sugar as much.
Yes.
So I'm Rosetta Chow, your certified health coach, Simply Health.
All righty. Well, thank you very much for hanging out with us today. It has been a pleasure talking to you. To the family of Wiley Mayes, we send our thoughts and prayers. You have such a wonderful legacy that he left for you. And we hope you're going to go out and let the world show you how much he meant to all of us.
Yes.
He was a great man. So, thank you very much. We look forward to our next opportunity. And as we always tell you, we feel the love that you share with us and we send it back to you, bubbling over.
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I hope you've enjoyed our chat today as much as we've enjoyed chit-chatting
Yes.
over this iced tea.
Yes, peach mango
Yes.
with matcha.
With
Don't forget the matcha.
The matcha right there. Yes. And if you enjoyed our chat, how about giving us a thumbs up? Consider subscribing to our channel and hit the bell notification so you're the first to be notified when our chats are ready to be watched. We love you. We are Silicon Valley Girls Chat Over Tea.
And remember to always keep smiling. Bye.